Hello there. You don't really know me, although you may have read one of my stories. By trade I was a writer of fiction. Perhaps you have heard of the adventures of Super Simon, a teenager who fought crime at night. Perhaps not. A young man's fancy that turned into a regular newspaper column as I grew older, and then a chance for a book of adventures. And this is me, one May morning in 1919, taking the train to Melbourne to meet a potential publisher. The pistons pumping, the heat of the engine keeping the driver and engineer warm. This was to be a train journey like no other, because what was to happen to me was to change me, and time, forever. Where was I now? Nothing was familiar, yet somehow I felt like I had been there before, because I had, you see. I didn't realize it straight away, but I had found myself in the future, in my own future, where trains ran on electricity, in the sky, where life seemed to be so fast. I could never have imagined such roads, so many cars. I was in the year 2019. It was 100 years my future. Suddenly it dawned on me, what was I to do? Here I was in my own future, which meant I didn't know anyone at all. I hadn't started a family, so I wouldn't have any descendants I could call on. I had a little money, but I could see that in 2019 they used something called a dollar. Stunned by my predicament, I decided to find somewhere away from it all to think it over. What could I do? What work was I good for? The world had changed so much, and I was lost.
Ah, Todd, there you are.
You wanted to see me, sir?
I did. Yeah, I did, which is why I called for you. There's been a whole new spate of disappearances. This time down by Wombat Gully Future Rail train station. You know on Pauline Hanson Boulevard?
Yeah, it's not more, backpackers, is it?
No, it's not more backpackers, which is why this time we're taking it seriously.
Oh, better get the professor in then.
No. The professor is required elsewhere at this time. So I want you and Hastings to go down a Future Rail and see if you can find out what's been done. You know, maybe conduct a few interviews. Maybe someone's seen something, or someone.
How many disappearances are we talking about here, Chief Detective Inspector?
8, which by my reckoning is about 6.5 too many. I'll go.
Yes, sir.
Kids these days.
And so there I was. I looked around and I couldn't believe nor comprehend what I saw. It was a scene like nothing I could have imagined in my writings or imaginings even. The houses, the people, for want of a better word, fashions. I I slowly ate a sandwich that I had seen someone throw away. I was more ashamed to ask for money than to pick up a dirty half-eaten sandwich and put it in my mouth. As I sat there, I asked myself, what could be done to remove me from the predicament I was in? Others may have thought to explore their new surroundings, but me, I was terrified. I decided that if something could be done one way, it could also be undone the same way. So I resolved to return the railway in the sky and take one of these strange electric trains. Perhaps this would return me to my own time. It was the only course I could think of. But even that was a false move on my part. I was about to discover that I was not the only one caught up in this time trap.
Here we are, the Future Rail Project.
Impressive, isn't it?
I suppose so. Certainly put Wombat Gully on the map. Connected us to the big city.
That it did. Right. Shall we see if we can find someone to interview around here?
Yeah, I suppose. How about that guy over there? He works for the railroad. He's probably here all the time.
Right.
And just remember to be cheery. I'm always cheery. It helps put the people at ease.
Well, I suppose you're right. It's probably worth a shot at least once.
Yeah, let's go.
Hi there, mate. How you doing? What? The name's Trent Hastings, Wombat Gully Police Department. Having a good day today?
What was all this?
I'm with the police. The name's Trent. How you doing?
Thomas. My name's Thomas.
I see now why you work at the railroad.
What?
You know, like Thomas the Tank Engine. Choo-choo.
Or the janitor?
Sorry about that. I'm Officer Todd, Sally Todd.
Oh, hello.
Officer Hastings and I have been investigating a series of disappearances in the area. I was wondering if you'd heard anything about them.
Disappearances? Oh no, I haven't heard anything about that. Although I have been noticing a lot of strange lights lately. Flashing lights. Oh yes. And the engineers have said there have been some very irregular power fluctuations.
I see. Anything else?
Well, you see, what I'm trying to tell you is something very strange has been happening on this here train line.
You wanted to see me, Detective Inspector Grace?
Ah, yes, Professor. Better come in. Take a seat.
You had the only chair.
What? Oh, yeah. Ha.
Is something wrong?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like this, you see. When you work for the department, you have to keep tabs on people, I guess. And, well, the Commissioner wants to see some sort of evidence of who you are, as you've been assisting the department in various investigations.
Well, I did find the person who stole the cookie from the cookie jar.
You did? Who was it?
It was you.
Me? Couldn't be.
So, who is this Commissioner?
Appointed to oversee all police operations in the state. And there is no official record of you anywhere.
I showed you my MySpace profile.
That was for some monk claiming to have lived for centuries in the mountains of Bhutan.
Yeah, that was me.
Didn't look anything like you. Besides, who has a MySpace page these days?
Detective Inspector Grace, is this important? The universe is so big and you know who I am.
Do I? How many faces have you had? Todd showed me that you've had at least 4 or 5.
The tip of the iceberg.
Look, Professor, although a lot of bad shit has happened while you've been around, I know you. I trust you. The Commissioner can say neither of these things. She wants you to come in for an interview.
Oh, do I have to?
She's waiting now. I said I'd bring you along.
Oh, do we have to?
She'll have my job if I don't. Please.
All right. Will there be cookies or crumpets?
Beer and wine.
Good enough.
Hello there. I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Aubrey. I'm a writer. I'm hoping to get my first book published soon. Or should I say, 100 years ago.
I'm really sure there's something better we could be devoting our time to than this rubbish about my identity.
And I probably agree with you. But here we are.
Such a lot of farce. I never asked to see proof of your identity. I don't know who you are. Maybe you're a dangerous criminal.
Professor, I think you can rest assured they don't make dangerous criminals detective inspectors.
No, I don't suppose they do.
It all seems pretty straightforward, don't you think?
What do you mean?
This whole business at the train station. Serial killer, nabbing his victims as they get off the train, perhaps kidnapping them, keeping them in an old house somewhere.
It's a pretty disturbing conclusion to jump to, Todd. I mean, you heard what Thomas said before.
Yeah, he said there was something strange going on. That could mean anything.
Yeah, well, I reckon it's something extraterrestrial. I think we need to get the professor here.
Ever since that business with the backpackers, everything's been about aliens.
It's just something in the air, Todd. Can't you feel it? Something weird's going on here.
Not really. Trent, Hastings, look at your hands.
What the hell?
You're right. Something is going on. Trent!
There you are.
Where have you been?
What are you talking about? I was just here and...
Trent, what the hell is going on?
Can you get that for me? Hello?
Detective Inspector Grace, are you there? Are you receiving me?
Yeah, who's this?
Constable Todd, sir. Look, Hastings and I, we've been out of the rail line, as you asked.
What's happened?
It's Hastings, sir. He just disappeared in front of my eyes.
He what?
Detective Inspector, this doesn't sound good. We should go to them.
Yeah, we've got a meeting.
Well, I'm sure this is a little bit more important than some old meeting, and I'm pretty sure the Commissioner will be understanding.
Oh, all right. Todd, you there? We'll be there in under 5 minutes.
What was that? Where did you come from?
We have always been here since the beginning of time.
Where are they? They're not here.
Maybe we shouldn't have stopped for the Happy Meal.
You weren't to know that the Unicorn Princess promotion was over.
Damn it. Now, what do we do now, Professor?
Detective Inspector Grace, have you been stuck behind a desk for too long? We investigate. According to my sonic key, there's something abnormal about the energy around here.
Oh, right. That's probably because future rail, the tracks are now in the sky.
No, not the electricity. The Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. My name's Thomas. I work for the railway, and look, I just bought this new high visibility vest. It's for being visible.
Just one moment, Inspector. I haven't forgotten the basics of basic policing. Let me do the interviewing. Now look here, Thomas of the Railway. I'm Detective Inspector Grace. I head the Wombat Gully Police Force and the local a cappella group, 4 Shades of Autumn. Now, two of my officers were here investigating strange happenings in the vicinity of the train station. You haven't seen them, have you?
Oh yes, they went that way.
Thank you very much, Thomas. You've been so helpful.
Bye.
Yeah, like riding a bike. You never...
Hello. Hello there. It's another one of you.
Another one of... E?
Yes, there was another chap dressed just like you.
Dressed like... Oh my goodness, that must have been my partner, Trent Hastings. Is he around?
No, he disappeared pretty much as soon as he appeared. Scared out of his wits, poor fellow. My name's Livingston. Aubrey Livingston. A writer by trade.
I'm afraid I don't understand. Where am I and how did I get here?
It's good that you asked those 2 questions because they happen to be the 2 questions I can answer. You are in a Wombat Gully train station.
No, I was at the Wombat Gully train station and now I'm here at this one, which has seen better days.
Well, actually, this is how I knew the station. Well, it wasn't in this bad a condition. Might I presume that you are from the year 2019?
Might you presume? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, the station you are familiar with is not in 2019.
Yes. It opened earlier this year, which is 2019.
And that was when the station was in the sky and running on electricity.
Uh-huh.
Well, I believe we're in the same place. Somewhere between my time, in 1919 by the way, and yours, which I presume the station has been left here to rot, as it were.
Uh-huh. And dare I ask my second question again? How did we get here?
Ah, yes, we were brought here by this, I suppose I can say, person.
Oh, great. I met one of those evil types back in my time.
Well, actually, I'm not sure they are either.
Look, Professor, this doesn't seem at all safe.
No, Detective Inspector. I shouldn't for 1 minute believe it is. I mean, all of this energy is enough to zap you into another time zone at least.
Well, I guess that's your specialty, Professor. Is there anything you can do about it?
Well, that depends.
On what?
On what's causing this. Something with such unbridled energy, something infinitely sophisticated with an immense power source. And I'm guessing it's not in a good way.
Why is that, Professor?
Well, it's giving off all this energy, it's growing so fast, and eventually I think it's going to blow a hole in the universe about the size of your galaxy.
Oh, that sounds pretty serious.
Yeah, you could say that.
One other question.
Yes?
Who are these guys?
So, Aubrey, what do we do? Do we just accept where we are, when we are, and make a life for ourselves here?
Well...
Now, just to be clear, I meant separately, not together. I mean, I'm sure you're a nice guy and all, but
Now, these are the Guards of Geen.
And who would they be? They look a bit mean. I take it they're dangerous killers?
Well, not exactly. They're mythical beings said to appear when people are in danger and take them out of time. I suppose you could say to rescue them.
Huh. So we don't have to worry then?
Well, not exactly. It's said that sometimes they take people to random points in the time axis, so while we wouldn't be here, We'd be safe, but this crisis would have no one here to prevent it.
Oh, right. Well, then, what do we do?
Well, you distract them. I'm going to reverse the polarity of the energy. If I can reverse the time vortex, then I can revert all the energy back to the original state that it was. And then I can reverse all the effects of everything that's happened here and restore the object.
Righto then. All right, you guardians, or whatever you're called, stand back. I'm a black belt in all sorts of martial arts.
Okay, Sonic Key. Let's try you out. How much can you take?
Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! Professor, they're still coming! What the blazes is that?
Oh my. It's the TARDIS! It's my TARDIS!
Stay back! Professor, they're still coming!
Now that I can fix.
Oh, that was a close call.
I'm all about close calls. The TARDIS, my TARDIS is back. All the places she takes me, took me, will take me.
Professor?
Detective Inspector Grace, thank you for everything. There's a whole universe out there.
Professor?
Aubrey, I think we should explore. I mean, I can't see any way out of here.
Oh, there's always a chance. You know, I might turn this little adventure into a novel. I've always wanted to write a novel. In fact, before I left at my time, 1919, I was on my way to a publisher's and...
There we are. We're back. Everything is back to normal, as it were. Oh, my TARDIS. You know me. You still know me. And you still managed to pull yourself back together. Now, we need to figure out why you were scattered everywhere. And who was responsible. But, for now, we're together. And the insides are all in one piece, but we need to get the outside sorted. We need a fresh coat of paint. Something, a nice polish, yeah? Okay, it's just you and me now.
So, Hastings.
Sir?
Here it is.
You wanted all unusual reportings of our washing machines accounted for, sir?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Thought I'd come and see if there was any sign.
I don't know, sir. The professor's been gone 6 weeks. I don't think they're coming back.
Unless this is the professor's clothes dryer.
What would the professor want with a clothes dryer, sir? I mean, one that's not in the house drying clothes.
Yeah, I know, Hastings. Oh, guess I better get back.
Professor!
My welcoming committee. Sorry, I had to run a series of in-flight checks just to make sure that the TARDIS returned to the way that she was before. Long, tedious, boring, time-consuming, but allowed me to get in a spot of reading.
What the devil are you on about?
I found this little book. You should totally read it sometime.